Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I'm in the book. I got something nice for you to go for you today to go through. So let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. Right thinkers, your goal is to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and always. To my yacht, be true. I'm in the book. In this book, I've been studying for over 15 years now. I ain't the cover on it, but this is my library, my little personal Bible. So I'm going to talk to you about is the philosophy of enlightenment. But right then, because let's talk about why ancient mystical philosophy is the precursor of religion and yoga philosophies. So originally, we're going to give you the original one, the first, where it all started. Okay, that's the concept. But remember, I remember learning this. So I'm gonna go through it because I pretty much know what it is. Hope you get to understand it. I think it's good information. So let's go. I got a few pages of information. I'm gonna try to get through it, but I'll take a whole bunch of time. But it's informative information. Good stuff. Ancient mystical philosophy, like I said, is the precursor of religion and yoga. See where I'm going? It is the higher intellectual process which led the sage to question the nature of origin of their existence. Where do we come from? Who are we? Why are we here? That was asked a long time ago, and they got the answer. So now, when we ask it, we can get the answers just like they did. Watch this. Now, ancient mystical philosophy is a way to intellectually, hear that word, intellectually, not believe, intellectually understand, not believe, the process of our existence. The reason for life and the means to what? Master it through wisdom. Love that. Intellectual wisdom and knowledge gradually becomes intuitive. Practice daily, it becomes habit form. Now it's autopilot, intuitive. And this process, right there, philosophy, leads to complete psychological liberation from worldly attachments. What that mean? That means I'm not driven by things, monetary things, worldly things, or even people, objects. I'm spiritually enlightened, so I know the value of my spirit and what I represent, not anything in the world. That's becoming enlightened. That's what it means. The physical world don't run me. Things in the physical world don't excite me, don't entice me to do dumb things to get them. Sell my soul and act a fool. None of that. That's the difference, okay? And it's all done intellectually. Knowledge and wisdom. You can live it. ancient mystical philosophy states what they state. Creation has not been created. What the what? No, they're telling you creation. The creation is in fact, listen, a mental manifestation. We keep trying to explain that to you. Like in your dream, when you go to sleep, whatever's inside this head of yours, that's what you can dream about. No more, no less. Only what's in there. If you're programmed, you got a whole bunch of stuff in there from childhood on up. So that all that's inside your brain, inside your mental capacity, your memory brain, all that good stuff. But again, if you don't understand this is the key, you're going to have problems. Why? Because in your dream, if you dream about your mother and father, they don't know they're in your dream. You brought them there. So this is God's way of having his way and having experience in the human form. Manifesting himself in the human form, giving you his spirit, but giving you the opportunity to know yourself with a mind to manifest and know thyself. Because you can't go back home without knowledge of self. That breakdown for you as we go on. It falls out. It plays out. Watch this. It makes a lot of sense if you understand it. Where I'm at down here. Now, creation is, in fact, a mental manifestation. That all mental manifestations are what? Just emanations from the Supreme Being. He's in his creation. He's in the plants. He's in the air. He's in human. Again, you get the concept. Further, it states what? That our souls are not only manifestations of the Creator. Here you go. But that we are, you ready for this? The Creator. As the Creator alone exists. They use the ocean as an example. We're just a drop of the ocean. But all that vast ocean, that's God. That's the known. That's the concept. And it's all mental. If you can understand and interpret it, you can see where they're going with this. And they tell you, God is everywhere and in all things. That's from the Bible circa 1500 BCE. They wouldn't originate of that. They just wrote it down in 1500 BCE. Bit behind us, which is fine, but it's a biblical concept laid out in that book that y'all practice. Now, our soul has to have experiences through what? The prism of the mind. The soul is the spirit. I can tell you, heart, mind. This thinks too, but this needs this. This needs that. They go together as one. That's when you become enlightened. I'm trying to explain that to you best I can. So our soul have that experience through the prism of the mind. And now our bodies are what? Are manifestations of our mind. Further, a purified mind. What is a purified mind? It says a purified mind can attain the vision of what? Reality as it really is. A purified mind is an enlightened mind, a mind that knows who it is. Third eye, spiritual mind opening up, all right? Touching the pineal gland, the Kundalini serpent rising up in you, but it's only done by what? Good deeds. It's activated by righteous living. That's why. So if you think, well, I'm righteous, I'm living right, but the guy next door, you think whatever you think, but he seemed to be blessed. He's seen everything going on. He ain't running around acting a fool. He probably handling his business, doing what he got to do. You, on the other hand, worried about everything except what? Handling yourself, doing you. God recognized personal deeds, not a whole bunch of jibber jabber, okay? And faking people out to make them think you somebody you're not. That's really just don't make sense to me. And study ancient mystical philosophy, what we find out, we will see that we are, you ready? One with the Creator. Everything is on the one. And that we are taking our personal, individual, psycho-spiritual journey through this world of time and space with a veil of what? ignorance. We are coming to the world with a clear conscience, not knowing, and we are programmed from the ages of our birth up to 7 years, learning our environment and letting the ego grow and fester and get itself no niche in your world with who you identify with, which is fine, but it's things you have to learn. That's the lower nature. That's elementary. You don't stay elementary for long. You grow up out into high school, college, and higher level. That's the same thing with the spiritual and this the world. When the veil of ignorance, I just gave a lesson how to raise it, how to lift it, so that we weigh in what? We may feel the journey and believe it's real. Like we go to sleep. We're practicing to die every time we lay down and go to sleep and go into that next level where, depending how you feel, depending what's on your mind, you will either have hellish nightmares or you're going to have pleasant dreams. Heaven and hell, right here in the mind state. In short, anything that can have a name or form is what in the illusory representation of what the true reality, which is the Spirit of God, which dwells in every living thing. Understand that. Why? We're in His world and everything in it is of Him. Moving on, that's why. Further, the experience of the what? The world. We're here to have that experience from birth, from childhood, all the way up. Everybody got to play the same game. Do not affect what? Your soul or your divine nature in any way. Though nothing affect inside, outside here can't affect the inside. Therefore, nothing is really happening except in what? In the meditations of each of us. It's taking place in our minds. In a war, for example, perfect example, no one is killing and no one is being killed. Why? The physical body is only temporary packaging for the spirit and the soul. The spirit don't die. If this body ceases to exist, it's gonna go on and get another body. Like we change clothes. Spirit do the same thing. Okay, it just do it with human beings. What kind of beings? Human beings. Now it may be stated that God, which is the spirit that's in us, not the conscious, our conscious is ours. We have to become God conscious. God is already in us. That's the spirit that gives us life. God is interacting with what? God Himself. This can be more easily understood how? By imagining this, what? That all objects in creation, including us, are like what? Actors in a movie. How about that? That's a perfect example. I like that. And on a movie screen, why? Because through someone seemingly to be born or die, it's just a play out, a screen on the screen, as well as the actors are what? Unaffected in real life. They play a role. And I just saw that thing with Friends when the one boy was in love with Joey, the doctor. He said, I play a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Some people get caught up and don't realize reality. A lot of that going on too. Okay, but that's a perfect example for this concept. Yeah, and they get affected. Excuse me, what is that? So through someone may seemingly be born or die on the screen, as well as the actors are what? Not affected because it's just an act. This life is just an act. Same thing. All right. Depending on how good you are an actor to learn your role and know thyself, depending on if you go get the Oscar going home, okay, get that award, the Achievement Award. All right. But similarly, we are appearing on the screen of what? Pure consciousness. That's God's mind, which is what, in fact, we call God. Yeah, I know this. The idea that we are really doing something is to appease you, the individual. That's all. That something is really occurring constitutes what? Wrong thinking. Why? Wrong thinking continues one's involvement and the belief that what? This physical world is the only reality. Those people who are ignorant, and this is all based on, you ready? Egoism. The ego self believes that this is it. It don't have a concept of God. Remember, ego is what? Edging God out. The ego is godless. It had no God concept. So understand that. Your conscience had to bring the ego under control and put him in a position of servitude, not mastery over oneself. Right thinking, there you go. I get to make the book every now and then. Right thinking implies what? Right living in the world and seeing everything in the world as part of what? God, one's very own self. You see yourself in everything. You understand you're part of the whole big picture. That's becoming enlightened. So therefore, living in peace, in harmony with what? All things. People included. I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. So I'm in harmony with everything that I'm surrounded by until I'm given reason not to be. But there is no need to what? Wage war. I defend myself. I ain't trying to wage war, but I can defend myself. This is the state of what? Your highest mental sanity and purity achieved by who? By those who are spiritually enlightened, aka advanced in self-knowledge. Not religious knowledge, not scholarly knowledge, self-knowledge. Okay? Understand that? I got a little more to go here. See, I got another page. I'm just going to be a two-parter. I can see that already. But let's go. Now, the intellect, your intellect to grasp the above statement, what I just read, if you can comprehend and understand that, is said to be that of what? An advanced soul who are nearing what? The end of their psycho-spiritual journey, aka life, through what? This time and space, the world process of what? The illusion of that you're growing old. The physical body does grow old. The spirit, not a bit, not a day. But they are what? Ready to attain salvation. That means you're responsible for your actions. You have to stand accused for what you did. Moving on. Okay? Where we at? With a purified mind, again, an enlightened mind, okay? Anointed mind. Through what? The disciplines and daily meditation, words of power we call Hecker, mantras that we live by, a phrase, I do what I do for you, and repetition of current or right thinking, it is possible to what? To transcend your physical reality and attain the higher vision while still alive. Man, Dr. Reverend Ike say, I don't want to die go for the pie in the sky by and by. No, I want my heaven right here on earth like all of y'all do. He knew that much, okay? And he knew how to do it, okay? Become conscious. Know thyself. Now, as the teachings become intuitionally understood, meaning it becomes a habit, a way of life. You practice it, you get good at it. You ain't got to think about it no more. It just happens. You just muscle memory. And when this intuitively understood, your unconscious is cleansed. How? Of what? Wrong thinking to such a degree, and I can attest to that. I remember times when if I had free time, downtime, F off time, you could think of anything to get in trouble, anything to do wrong. I don't do that no more. So I know firsthand, them thoughts don't come to mind no more. Why? I don't act on them, so they don't move me. No need for them. So you can let them go by. And that's when you're getting mentally stronger, spiritually enlightened. Why? And wrong thinking, you let wrong thinking, you are cleansed of wrong thinking to such that degree that what? A new vision is now experienced. Those who attain this higher vision will live in it where? After death. What you mean? Of the body. Why? Because they live within their real identity. Knowing thyself, meaning you and God are one. If you're ignorant of that fact, death scares you to death. Why? Because you think that's it. You don't know no better. You're ignorant of your spiritual self. Again. So, those who at the time of death, watch this, who are ignorant, who still persist in what? Believing that they are a particular person, born in a particular place, to a particular parents, loyal to a particular country or a particular race, will die. If these are things that you believe, you are going to die. Your conscience is going to be wiped clean, and the spirit will go and look for another body to get a mulligan, a do-over, aka reincarnated. Why? Now, let's find out. You will die because these ideas, because these are perishable ideas, never exist. They're just illusions. And when you run around thinking it's all about you, that's called delusions of grandeur. When you think grandizing, self-grandizing, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the best, I'm that. No, that's self-grandizing, and it's all driven by ego, which again is illusionary. Okay, understand it. But that's who I am. No, it's not. No, it's not. But the world and anything in it, including our bodies, as we see it with ordinary eyes, we always see what's outward. It's only a reflection of what? True reality. True reality is what? Mental. Everything is all mental. Energy and spirit. Pure consciousness. Therefore, the correct attitude toward physical life should be one with encompassing, you ready? Surrendering one's ego, consciousness, and accepting one's true identity, knowing thyself, loving all impersonally, relinquishing what? Possessiveness, and accepting the true, the true underlying reality of oneself, which is, you ready? God. We're here in human form to have experience to realize we are God. I'm gonna stop the list. Nope, I'm not. I got some more to do. I'm gonna finish this page out. I'll see the time. I gotta get this in. Why? You'll see when I go. This is the highest teachings. Watch this. In the yoga, right thinking philosophy of wisdom. Once it is understood, even in part, a little bit, feeling of detachment and dispassion. Learn how to separate yourself, take your emotion out of the situation, and deal with it. What happens? For objects of the world, when you stop worrying about things of the world, you will begin to occur and grow as what? An individual. One's experiences of what? Feeling of participating what? In the world, but understanding this, that is not the absolute reality. Why? Because this concept of the absolute reality is embodied in what? The netter, aka nature of Egyptian netter, or the group called the Yorubas. Ama of the Dogon, Brahmin of the Hindu. These are all names of the gods of the Hinduism, and the Tao of Taoism. The Dharmakaya of Buddhism, Kingdom of Heaven for Christians, Kesa for the Kabbalah, that's heaven for them, the Great Spirit, and the Quetzalcoatl from the Mexicans, North Americans, and last but not least, Allah for the Muslims. So every culture had a concept of a higher spirit, supreme being. Whatever name, is all the same, but they all had the concept. And I'm wrapping it up now. One who understands the teachings will not be what? Susceptible to sorrow at the loss of a loved one. I understand it now. I didn't know before, but I've gotten better at understanding that concept. So I'm better for that. And now, since he or she will realize that what? That the loved one has only what? Passed on in the journey of, or rather that they have gone nowhere except to what? A different plane of reality of existence to which all things belong. The physical body goes to the earth. The spiritual body, if enlightened, spiritual goes back home to the maker. That's heaven, y'all call it. So we had a concept for that. Wrapping it up. Detachment from what? Small individual things, worldly things, would allow one to what? Perceive one's connection to everything. At this stage, various levels of peace are attained. Watch this. The understanding of the teachings will allow what? The mind to now be free from what? Cravings of the world and things, and to love all things and people what? Equally. Fair across the board. Since they are now understood to be what? Manifestations of the Creator, aka the absolute reality, one's very own self, aka all derived from pure consciousness. The teachings are the writings of masters who were able to what? Control their minds and bodies in such a way as to what? Ascend to great psychological and psychic heights. Clairvoyance, telepathic, telekinesis, all those things that the power of the mind, if you got better, and you can do all those things with knowledge and understanding. But they attain, you ready? Communion with who? With the cosmic intelligence, aka the Akashic records or cosmos, the creator, God, and sustainer of all things. Again, God. Wrapping it up, I see the clock. That's I'm taking it home. Now, upon doing so, you realize what the nature of your own existence now, and the fact that you, along with the rest of humanity, are what? Are one with the ultimate reality. God, we are one. The sages realize that even though there are many names and forms of God, aka creation, all that can be seen is not only a part of God, but the all-encompassing being, but in effect are God. They come back from these lofty heights to what? Assist others in attaining the beatific visions and the ever-present peace, aka Hotep. Hotep is the ultimate peace that cannot be disturbed by worldly occurrence, meaning that place inside you where I can go when I get excited, I get out of pocket, I can go there and calm myself down. Everybody should have, they call that safe space, that where you can go and whatever's going on around you, you can always go there and find peace. That's Hotep, that's supreme peace within oneself. When you have spiritually, you got spiritual enlightened, you anointed with knowledge of self, you know that place within yourself. That's why you can go there, because you know it. You put it there for a purpose, to go there what? When you need it. When you start wilding out, oh, I calm myself down. Calm down, get it down. Whoa, whoa, bring it down, bring it down. Simple. That's self-mastery. That's emotional control. That's right thinking philosophy. That's the lesson, and I'm out. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you passed away. Oh, I got more. I'm turning the page now. I'm getting ready. I'll be back.